Hello, I am Rangru.
And I'm Graham.
Here today with another 1v1 from the Wargame Bootcamp Discord Elite Tournament. We're on a highway to Seoul. Who do we have playing today, Mr. Graham?
So on the left-hand side, we have Zarto playing as Langia Mechanized. And then on the right, we have Bad Player, a.k.a. Lordpie, playing Entente General Ring.
Indeed, we do. So once again, Mech Gang will strike again.
Yep.
And this is a pretty good map for it. Of course, the Delta and Echo points being perfect mechanized, grind downs.
I would ask the question, Rangru, is there a bad map for mechanized decks?
Oof. In 1v1 pool, probably not. But I think once you get into like some of the team game, like 3v3 maps with some larger areas, it probably loses a bit of efficiency. I forgot the name of it, but there's one like open desert one. It's not Bloody Ridge, it's something else.
I know what you're. I know.
There's like rivers in it as well.
Yeah.
It isn't very descriptive because most of Eugene's map have rivers on it because they just have an absolute hard-on for bridges.
They love bridges. They're big. They're big into river crossings.
Yeah, but they haven't made any like bridge, like crossing units, like some bridge layers. Eugene,
That's true.
Please.
That's true. You think they would have added? They would have figured that out at some point in the game, but they haven't. And we see here Finnick excuse me, a Finnick 20 mil moving in to engage this Hera as the Mi-17 right there. What Crew's gonna be dropping in some rockets on top of that Luke's push. Oh, I guess a kill right there too. Nice little pick off there.
Yeah, it's going to be unloading the infantry, a very advantageous position.
Yeah.
I believe that will be, what's it called?
It's the Czech recon unit.
Yeah, the special ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's got more infantry pushing down the road. And then looking at the highway, you've got some Concours already set up, getting some snipes. And yeah, both sides really going to be pushing quite heavy down south. Up north is pretty much barren.
Yeah, both players are going to opt for going really light and Charlie Golf, which I would say that's pretty common. Sometimes you see strong pushes up there, but neither of them are going to be able to mount any type of offensive. And it's going to be really settled, I think, down here in Delta Echo. We see that Finnick 20 mil once again trying to get a snipe on that Mi-17, but I don't think it's going to work out for it. A Scout Defender pushing up a little bit as well. So really just reconnaissance elements kind of duking it out. But there are some big boys on the map, and the Pram's dropping smoke for them.
Yeah, that is a heavy investment in some super heavies right off the bat. I understand Rye, what's it called? Lordpie is trying to push heavy in Echo, because that's a perfect location for his super heavies.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great spot for him to push right there. He's got Patabranchi screening them on the right. I do think he might want something else in Delta. As we see here, the Leopard 2A1s making their presence felt, but they won't be able to get too aggressive here just yet. But those Vihors are actually pretty far out there. Smoke should be dropping now, it's giving them a little cover closer to home. And we see there's no peace rhine out yet. So they are kings of the battlefield right now, Ring.
Indeed they are. And we are seeing Zarto put a bit more heavy in Delta, really the better spot for the mechanized player. And if he, manages to exploit this effectively, he could fully capture Delta and get a very good foothold in the Triangle Forest.
No, absolutely. I think if you're Zarto, you just want to try and keep him at bay a little bit. You don't necessarily want to go with the head-to-head engagement. And then kind of, like you said, maybe take the Triangle Forest there and possibly even cut off the reinforcement road into Echo there and kind of isolate that push. And we see Lordpie reacting to it. A lot of Czech infantry, out in front to screen for damage, and the Vihor is kind of playing games in the smoke. Sava getting a nice kill there on the Scout Defender.
Indeed. Yeah, the Vihor is going to have a little bit harder time, really, I think, exerting the influence from that position, because if you push up north, you got the Delta Forest, they still got the forest to the left of it, pretty much, where the Jupiter is, and then down south is really the better way for it to push, but they need a little bit more recon presence down there because of ATGMs.
Yeah, and the Vihors have to be a little careful. We do see a Milan 2-shot coming out right there. Oh, barely missing one of them. Because up close and personal with those 2A1s, they can lose for sure. That isn't the M91A. So he needs to be, Lordpie does need to be a little probably careful with his Vihors. You don't want to overextend with no infantry support with them because they are vulnerable to a lot of the assets that are on the field for Zarto. But he backs them up because Milan 2-shot's kind of scaring them off for a little bit.
Indeed, indeed. And then just looking up north, we are seeing a bit of a push here from Zarto. Lordpie does have a decent amount of defense. Well, not to say decent amount, it's really just one BVP, but it's enough to probably slow it down and allow him to get some more reinforcements as well.
Yeah, but I do like where Zarto's going with those Panzergrins, especially if he can get along some of those reinforcement roads right there. He eventually could, if he wanted to. I mean, he could wipe that out if he put any dedicated amount of points in there. It's an interesting position how he's kind of setting up for himself. But like you said, there's nothing else there. It's just the 8 Panzergrins and the Martyr 1A2. So you can't really get that much work done. We see the Vihor's engaging some trucks there on the road. I don't think anything was actually left in that truck. I think it dropped off its unit. So nothing necessarily too crazy yet being picked off. And really just a lot of skirmishing right now. A lot of smoke being dropped. You know, each player kind of feeling out the map. We see the 2A1s actually split up there, right? Or did one... No, one didn't die.
Maybe one did get blapped. Worry is a possibility.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think so. Where would it be? No. I mean, maybe. I mean, it's totally possible. I know he called another one in, and I see it missing, but I don't see... It's fired a decent amount of ammo. I guess so. Maybe the Vihors did actually take an engagement and get the kill. Or the Patabranchi... Oh, no, the Bombards haven't fired, so no, that's not it.
Yeah, it's pretty indecisive just between Delta Echo Point. Neither side really wanting to commit to the full-on push. Just a lovely use of smoke kill to try to keep his engagement, well, a stalemate pretty much. I do think Zato has the slight advantage just in terms of map control, because he is starting to get a good presence into Delta. I mean, Lordpie does have a good presence in Echo as well, but also Zato is making a small presence in Gulf. So it feels like he has the more room to actually maneuver and actually make a decisive strike somewhere.
Yeah, we also see Lordpie is going in for a little cheeky MI-35 play towards the base of Zarto, but there is base defense out so far, so I don't think it should be able to get too much damage in, but it's definitely making a move down that way towards Alpha. But I agree with you, Rang. I think that overall Zarto does have pretty good map presence. So some Falchion United being dropped, they're going to move into Golf as well. But the firepower that Lordpie still has on the field is very potent, so it's really not a decisive advantage either way.
The Hind just blapped both base defense and one hit.
Yeah, the Hind's going to make me pay for my prediction.
Oh, he's going in hard! Where's the base defense? Where's the anti-air? Where's the panic buy?
It's dead. He hasn't noticed it just yet. That MI-35 is going to quickly take out the CV right there in Alpha. Yep, and so now we see the first tick really start here for Lordpie, and that's a really brutal loss for Zarto. Yeah, Finnick Twainmo's being called out, but the damage of losing your base and not having no air support, it can be massive. So I think we'd look to see Lordpie try and mount an offensive at this point.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty lucky as well that Lordpie didn't bring in like a CV to capture Alpha. It just seemed to be a throwaway MI-35, which did way more damage than needed to. But this isn't terrible for Zarto. It's a map where you can afford to lose your home base because you've still got Bravo. It's a pretty damn good point. Once he clears up the Hind, it's merely just the lack of airplanes and also just point investment in buying another CV.
Yeah, point investment annoying. Oh, but the Phoenix go right past MI-35. MI-35 making a turn here, getting some shots into the side, and it's actually going to make its way into... Oh, okay, he gets the kill there. Barely. I thought I was about to get away just in time. And as he goes ahead and crash lands there on Bravo. But we do see the push moving out here from Lordpie, those M91s, but they move to an exposed position right there. Lift guard and getting, hit the front. I thought I was going to get the side shot there. Now would be a time for the 2A1s, though, to get in this action. Milan shot coming out here, looking for a side. Another miss from the Milan 2s here. They have definitely not been able to carry their weight for the for the German player.
No, they have not, and the Vihors are going to back off just in time. One does get hit in the front, but still not terrible damage. Smoke being dropped to cover. A supply truck order being brought out to repair that guy. But just looking at the front line now, like Zato has, of course, with Mechanized, a much more beefier front line with all his infantry spam. And he's really at a position where he could either push heavy down on Echo, maybe try to flank around in Delta, even though it's been a bit more built up here from Lordpie.
Yeah, I think he's going for the Echo push here. That Conquerors team, it's only got one left. I mean, the Dragonaires are going to get in there, so the Danes should clear that out. MI-17, does get a nice pick there on the Live Garden, but it does go down to the automatic there in the back line. Well, it's almost the front line, actually, for Zarto. Zarto is pushing up more infantry into Delta. And like you said, Rain, this is where the mechanized player can really make his presence felt, where there's just so many units on the map at one time versus the general decks where it's all very concentrated.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it just comes down to, I would say super heavy tanks, but the M91 is just a heavy tank in this case. They have to really make a, voice heard by getting a good amount of kills, but it's such a, single point of failure if that thing goes down, or both those Vihors go down, he's going to be in a world of hurt.
Oh, and Lordpie is actually getting really aggressive here with these M91. Oh, okay, looked like he was. That one Leopard 2-1 did take a shot, and there is an M84AN on the flank there that could hit into his armor, so he kind of needs to be a little bit careful. Oh, his mortar goes down to a BTR, basically variant in the backline there to his autocannon. So 2A1s are opening up here, taking shots into the M84As, but that's not a fight that you want to take. That's the 2v1 right there. The M84As will eventually win that. Yep, and they do get the kills there. And you just see why that they're so good with that 19 AP at 95 points.
And we're seeing with Echo is slowly starting to fall as Zato is starting to push in, but Lordpie is, especially with how he's flanked with all his tanks, has a fantastic position on Delta. And yeah, he's going to be moving up with his Proletary now. He's got the smoke to cover. Oh, he could get the ATGM rear shot in the Leopard too.
Yeah, he's trying to right now. He's going to get a side hit with the Maltukia. Yeah, and so he does get the side shot right there. You almost never see that 2A1 will eventually finish it, and it doesn't die. It shows you how bad that ATGM can be. But that is really annoying if you're Zarto. He's going to need to repair it before it gets into action. And there's a significant armor advantage right now on the map for Lordpie. I mean, multiple M84As, the two Vihors, once they're repaired, they're going to go right back into action, and the M84AN.
Yeah, he definitely has a good opportunity to try to push out armor heavy through Delta. And if he can just hold the left edge of Delta, zone that out, stop any mechanized infantry from getting close into CQC, he'd be in a very good position.
Yeah, we see Proletary 90 right there pushing up, and so Delta's now fully under, for the most part, Lordpie's control, whereas Echo's the opposite, right? Echo's basically under Zarto's control, but not full. But he can't really fully lock it down until this Patibranchi 90 are dealt with.
Yeah, Zato hasn't really realized that Echo is his yet. He can move up a bit more aggressively, but yeah, it's gonna be dealing with the Pados. Does he have any mortars right now in the field? No,
he lost it, and I don't think he's replaced it yet.
That definitely, if he gets another mortar out, he can pretty easily deal with those Pados.
Yeah, we see the Panzer Grenadiers actually moving up here. I don't know if that's okay, so he does stop. I would say I don't know if you want to just have them open assault in the field, the Patibranchi 90 in the town there. We see more armor pushing up into Delta as well. M84A getting a little bit aggressive. Some smoke now from the Prams dropping for it. And then the CV. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, Alpha's been recaptured, but we're also seeing Zato. I think he's gonna do a helicopter cheese of his own.
Yes.
He's looking at the Phoenix.
Rangru, is this a helicopter rush?
It's best if I don't comment.
Okay. It's no, you can't comment.
I can't.
All right. No, I understand.
I want to keep the comments civil.
Right. You want to, yeah, let's keep it civil in the chat, obviously. We do see the Plowman has been brought into the field now as well, though it hits absolutely nothing because there's nothing in that forest line there. But it's an interesting unit choice call out right there for Lordpie to try and give him a little bit extra oomph as he continues to push here. And he does start to get the tick going as well, once again, by capping Delta.
That's definitely a very good piece of aggression, yeah. He can still, neutralize Echo if it comes down to it. He does have the armor advantage to zone out at least the top right portion of it. So he's doing pretty decent. I mean, Golf might actually be a good idea for Zato to maybe try to push heavy and really onto that ridgeline to start sniping into Delta.
No, I think Golf could be an excellent choice for him if he doesn't want to necessarily push into the armor teeth that are in Delta right there. Also, I just quick little math. Lordpie is well over 100 points in base defense.
Yeah,
he's locked up right there.
I was about to say, that's intense. He knows that the cheese is possible, and he's prepared for the cheese. Even for Motos directly just unloaded in random locations.
Yeah, he's absolutely chilling. Yeah, if I'm Zarto, if he can sniff that out, I'm not going in there at all. But he could get in the backside maybe of Golf or actually even into Foxtrot if he really wants to, because there's nothing in the way of stopping that. We do see the Plowman opening up once again, is trying to hit those Leopard 2s and the Martyr 2s. Oh, that one leopard 2A1's actually severely damaged from dueling it out with the M84A right there. More infantry being brought up. And there you see the M84A making its presence felt as well. Getting a side shot right there on that 2A1. And he's going to get another shot here. Yeah, it's going to bring it down to almost down to half HP.
Yeah. And of course, with that reconnaissance tank, Cheese, aka the giant suppressor at the end of that barrel, he just can't be seen.
Yeah, it's insane how that thing works out.
Yep.
Years
Truly
later,
great game design.
Yes, that's absolutely. It's what Eugen's known for. And we do see the 2A1s here trying to provide a little fire support, but the Vihors are brought up here. This Danish infantry just getting mowed down in the open right there with real no cover, no support. Military 90 in the armor just doing heavy damage.
Yeah, this is definitely a very good angle of attack, and I think the Vihors, they can, they're the melange out of ammo. They can definitely make short work of what's left of Zato's open ground forces here. Marder 2 getting blapped. The infantry starting to get pounded. This is fantastic positioning here for Lordpie.
Yeah, Lordpie's spot and angle leverage point here in Delta is really powerful because he has the other side of the road as well, pretty much under lock and key. And so now he can kind of just leverage this into an overall like a trading advantage because the 2A1s are not going to trade well pushing into that kind of frontal attack there against that level of armor. Yeah, we see the Plowman here providing a little bit more fire support against the Panzer. Oh, just annihilating one of the Stinger infantry squads right there, and the Czech infantry now getting into the building as the Petibranchi evacuate.
Yeah, Lordpie just has a very good momentum all over now. He's actually starting to invest a little bit into Gulf now, moving up some more recon infantry. One of the Fenix trying to deal with the hip, and is getting blasted. I'm guessing the other Fenix tried to make the base defense
run.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they went after it, and they did not do well.
They got permanent reservations in the hotel now.
Oh yeah. There's no checking out from that one. So we do see Zarto is repairing his 2A1s, but I have to say, Ring, they haven't paid themselves off. He's basically used them as a frontal like counter push against a lot of this Yugo armor, and they just have not traded well whatsoever. Oh, actually, a Super Gleb called out here by Lordpie. I'm actually not sure what he's trying to target with that. I guess it's 2A1, but he doesn't need it. Yeah, I mean, he has two more M84As coming in as well. There are automatics on the field, two of them, I believe. Or maybe one died, so there's one still in the back line.
Yeah, and we're seeing those 2A1s are now, positioned well on the hill, but firepower advantage, right? Those Vihors can definitely make short work of them, especially considering the Vihors are blunt, bunched up together.
Well, there goes the Super Gleb. He does get the 2A1 right there. Ooh. Nice snipe, and the automatic isn't in position to do any damage, and there's no actual AA over there, so it ends up being a really nice pick-off there for that Super Gleb free of charge.
Yeah, that was... I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen the Peace Rhine out yet. That would be the perfect counter to those Vihors. I mean, there's a bit of anti-air on the field, but it's something you'd want to, try to invest in, take advantage of.
I think you take the risk against one Sava, really. I mean, there's the Spat, the BOV3 kind of more towards the back line, but, I mean, I don't think you're really too worried about one of those. We do see, and it's not like there haven't been opportunities to hit the M91s. Like, they have been exposed in multiple instances, and a lot of times, just the Milans couldn't connect, or they got their front arm returned in time. We do see the Panzergrins here doing battle with the Mechanovas. Problem is, the M91s are going to get right there in the side and just start launching some HE into those Panzergrins, just tearing them up right there at the force line.
Yep, they're going to get absolutely eaten up. And also we're seeing an echo. A CV from Zato is being put onto the point, but he still hasn't really took advantage of the echo position. Like, there's some M84s just in the middle of the smoke cloud. I wonder where they are. But he hasn't put any ATGM infantry or Leopard 2A1s here to try to flank into Delta, or maybe even put some pressure into the Foxtrot supply line.
Yeah, the Petibranchi 90 here. Oh, no, it's the Conquer Zim trying to get shots in. And the Leopard 2A1's just getting really stunned right there from the Plowman. Super Gleb is diving in here, so Smoke a little bit too far behind, and Super Gleb getting the pick off there, and it gets the Lukes, but it goes down. So it gets two 2A1s and a Lukes. So not necessarily a bad... it definitely paid itself off in terms of overall points.
Yeah, and definitely just relieving the front line pressure from you know, lots of laboratory ones. He still has one M84. Oh, he has his 3 M84s in the area, and he can also relocate his M91s down south. It's going to be a bit dangerous getting that close also over the Milan teams, so yeah, he's not going to commit to that push, which is a smart move.
Yeah, and the Milan teams really have done almost nothing this game. They've basically just missed every time they've had a chance to provide anything valuable, and now they're just going to die. Yep, they're going to die right there in the open. These 2A1s have been manhandled by the Yugoslavian armor here, and it's just, it really hasn't been a good day
Peace Rhine
for Germany. Yeah, but the Peace Rhines are out now, and he gets one frontal hit. The other one misses, so, I mean, he does get away clean. It's just kind of showing you that AA network there is really nothing to be afraid of. So I'd expect to see another one probably called out.
Yeah, but it's also kind of plays his hand a bit, and now Lordpie maybe should start investing a little bit of anti-air, knowing that the Peace Rhines are definitely a potential problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. He probably could use a little more, or a fighter, right? Either one would be good for him to help, just because that's really the only answer I think that Zarto has, because his armor just hasn't gotten it done whatsoever. We see the 2A1s, they've really struggled in these head-on engagements here. They've been exposed a couple of times, and they just haven't been able to make anything happen. We do see a CV also called out by Lordpie to go in and stop the point echo hold there by Zarto, and that'll get the tick going in his direction again.
I like how both of the CVs have the word stab in their name. I'm fairly certain it probably means something in their retrospective languages. It's just something common.
They'll shank a mofo.
Yeah. You gotta lead
exactly
by example by shanking them behind Tesco's at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right, absolutely. They play no games in there at the command point.
Oh, another laboratory one gets a blapped, I believe, from the Vihor. And there's also getting Milan.
Yeah, so the Milan finally at point-blank range gets some hits into it. Vihor is going to get away, so the Peace Rhine's out and, kind of hunting here, but he doesn't have anything in front, and then it wastes a Maverick missile trying to hit basically a BTR once again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically what that is, a Yugo version of it.
Honestly, you barely see its BTR being used on my personal experience, but for 15 points, it's honestly not bad for just a cheap, crappy ATGM on a fast transport.
No, I don't think it's for 15 points. It's not bad at all. Yeah, I mean we've actually seen it get some value getting a side shot into one of the Leopard ones. So it didn't kill it, of course, but it still did a nice kind of like 3 or 4 HP of damage worth.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something I think if you have the points or you want to, it's definitely valuable to bring. We see another automatic being brought here by Zarto, and the longer this goes on, Rain, the more I just feel like Lordpie cementing a win here. At one point, it felt like Zarto had a presence stretching across the map, and he kind of flexed his mechanized deck strength, but he's just really been kind of punched in the face by these tanks all game long, and it seemed to have taken its toll.
Yeah, he just has not been able to deal with that armored threat, and for the mechanized play, you do have a lot of options for that, but he hasn't just been able to utilize those options effectively. Probably early investment in Peace Rhines when those Vihors have been exposed would have been a good call, and now we're also seeing a Never being brought out, so next time a Peace Rhine tries to, spread the peace, he's gonna be unkindly greeted.
He's gonna go for a swim in the Rhine.
Here he comes.
It would also, losing his base, for a few minutes as well hurt. Maybe he wanted to maybe try and use one at an earlier point in time, wasn't able to because of the MI-35. He lost his FOB as well. I'm not sure how that really affected his play. Mechanized decks necessarily don't rely on theirs as much, their FOB, but it is gone. So that created an issue for him. He had to buy a CV, not for gaining points, but to stop his own, reclaim his base. And that can just have a really detrimental effect on players a lot of times, even mentally.
Oh, yeah.
So he's been kind of on the back foot ever since that point happened. And these Vihors have just gone to work the whole game. They've really never been in serious danger. You see that MI-17 looks like he's going to go over there try and get a little damage done over by Golf. Yeah, Lordpie just looks like he's fully in command here, and he's kind of just waiting for Zarto to send in the next wave of Germans.
Yeah, as we can just see, Zarto is very much just clumped up on the Bravo hill. He does have a decent amount of forces built up, but he can't make a cohesive push until those Vihors go down, and those Vihors are just making their presence known.
Yeah, and so he's also bringing up KPZ-70s, which at this point, the Leopard 2A1s haven't traded well, so those aren't going to trade. They're going to trade even worse against the M84As and the M91s. It just shows you like that armor tab right there is really powerful for Yugoslavia. It's one reason Entente has so many tools available, and the armor right now has really showed itself. The Proletariat 90, they've done work as well. And these 2A1s are pushing out now, but they're gonna get greeted by the AN first. Yeah, they're not even able to kill it there. It's down to 1 AP because one missed, and then the M91s get a hit there. It's 4 AP or HP immediately gone off the 2A1.
And he just hasn't been able to really, well, Zato is, like, force, the dangerous CQC fight. Because if he can get his Leopard 2A1s within 500 meters of those Vihors, the fight becomes much more fair.
Right. I know, absolutely. And I said that earlier on. If he can get CQC engagements with his Leopard 2A1s, they'll be okay. Like they can trade against those Vihors. But he's been taking that medium to max range engagement the entire game, and they've just been absolutely punished. I mean, even against the M84As, they've lost out. So they just haven't been able to really carry the load here. And he's going to go and push up with them, but that's a dangerous spot. There's Proletariat 90. There's the Czech infantry covering as well. Yeah, he's going to back it up. Discretion will be the better part of Valor right there.
He's using a decent amount of smoke at least to get a foothold into Delta, and he really just needs to keep up the smoke, play that CQC game. But of course, when fighting against, Entente, the Yugoslav infantry can really go toe-to-toe with, mechanized infantry spam.
Oh, the M84A is actually exposed to the Milan, and it misses. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. They need to get executed by the time they get back to the rear.
Oh yeah, they're not welcome back to base after this battle. So he does get a hit right there, and it's a nice little chunk of damage, but it's out of ammo too, so it's not gonna be able to get the kill. Unfortunately, the Milan 2s really just haven't done well. Proletariat 90 are gonna more than capable of holding their own against Panzergrunds in a head-on fight there. We see the Plowman, he's actually gotten a lot of value, done a ton of stun across the board, so the KBC 7 is going to be held back to these 2A1s. Now they're just kind of sitting there in the open, and he's going to have to make a decision, I think, here, where he either commits to the push or the game's probably over.
Yeah, does he stay or does he go? He doesn't really have much infantry apart from the Panzer Grenadier to screen, and he needs a bit more infantry. Okay, he's bringing up some more infantry to try to deal with the M84AN forest. And you're also seeing a bit up north. Lordpie is starting to, not so much push, but reconnoiter a little bit between Charlie and Golf.
Yeah, well, Lordpie has the much valued +2 right now because of the capping of Golf. So he really is in the driver's seat. I mean, he could probably get aggressive if he wanted to, just because I think Zarto really is on his back foot. But oh yeah, we see the KBC 70s right there. They push up M84 and slapping one of them real hard right there. Yeah, just out the tank micro has really gone his way. Yeah, another shot there. M91's getting a shot into the recon infantry before they can even right as they unload there. Plowman hitting the ground troops as they advance. Peace Ryan diving in the back. Yeah, blapped.
Absolutely blapped. And yeah, at this point I think Zarto just needs to commit to his push. I mean, he's using that smoke efficiently to allow his units to get close. And even though those KPZ-70s aren't great, if he was to get the bunch of them close up and focus fire on the M84 and then the Vihors, it'd be a costly victory, but he could knock out the armor.
Yeah, and the autocannon's really nice against infantry. So, they shredded the Proletariat right there. Oh, and the Panzergrunds get a nice shot. Yeah, so the M91s have pushed up here really aggressively. He needs to get the Panzergrunds on top of them. Honestly, I would just throw everything on top of them at this point. Drop some smoke, maybe to screen from the side there. He could for the M91s, but he's got to move, and he's going to reverse here back up. And I just think at this point you start, but this push, it needs to be full send mode. Like, you need to wipe the floor here, and then you can follow up and get a +2 of your own or something, but by backing up here, he's just delaying enough.
Yeah, he just needs to full-on send and just attack. I mean, he's forcing those Vihors back from that, and there's always another Vihor, and that's a model.
The big boy is on the battlefield now right now. He's going to go and push up. Panzergrunds are in the front here, so he does need to be a little bit careful. Panzergrunds, especially with a side shot, can ruin that tank through day. Proletariat 90 actually backing up. They're going to engage in this right here. So, Zarto is now basically in a giant little, almost like a circle, a little ball kind of. All this is plumped up here is one little triangular forest line. Yeah, and so the Panzergrins are going to commit here. We do see the Leopard 2A1s almost out of gas as well, and panic. They can't even hit that BTR, missing both foot shots. M84A's brought up as well. So there's a lot of army here that those M84A's are actually really damaged.
But also up north has actually been completely cleared out.
Yeah.
Lordpie pretty much has out in position, and honestly, with Charlie essentially fallen, that's pretty much a solid GG for Lordpie.
And the game's still over. Lordpie's going to walk away with the W here. Excuse me, Desarto, he's still kind of hesitant to commit to this defense here. And then I think now he's going to send it. Once again, the Plons have done a lot of work. That's all that stun right there. Actually, also pushing off the squad with Panzergrand, which is really nice to see. He's got a ton of value out of that Plowman. A CD also rang up for Charlie as well, so this is going to go to a +3 here pretty soon, and this should now get cleaned up.
Yeah. It's I mean, even if he makes a good push into Delta, he's just kind of buggered. And he is making good hedge rain to Delta. And also, right, he still hasn't really, taken advantage of, putting pressure into Echo.
No, really, he could have killed the Echo Speed. I get rid of the God Vision and stuff, but there's nothing there. At some point, he would have at least probed to kind of maybe discover. And it's totally possible he does clean up here in Delta. I mean, well, the Vihors have backed up, and so now they're in a pretty strong position there. The Neva's still back there. The Peace Rhine died earlier. So this push probably will run out of steam about midway through the forest line here. But he did advance. I just think he did it 15 minutes too late.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Because he did have that very good momentum early on. As we keep saying, he had the beefy front line of all that dudes. And if he could have kept the front line, CQC and Delta, those Vihors and tanks just wouldn't have been able to put as much, effective pressure, especially Panzer Grenadier 90s rolling about.
Yeah, another Plowman actually caught out here by Lordpie trying to stun them. +3 is really just the kind of like the night finishing touches on it. It's going to create an insurmountable amount of points here for Zarto, especially as we now near the 400 mark, just under 8 minutes left in the game. I mean, he's bringing supplies up to try and resupply his tanks and stuff. The BVPs, they're getting in position. Up north, those Panzergrins just getting decimated.
Oof.
It's like out in the open at Kursk.
Just running into the defense line of a million M40, 45 mils.
Yeah, and so we do. Yeah, I think that's basically going to be it. You'll probably see Zarto tap out here probably any second. It's just there's no way that these BVPs are even just tearing up those Panzergrins right there. And then the Martyr's getting side shot now by the M91As. There's more armor. The Peace Rhine gets a frontal hit on it, but it gets blapped by the neighbor right there, just taking it right there in its fuselage. Oh yeah, it's looking real bad right now for Landshut.
They're not going to be able to take in any more land, as that will be the good game and victory to the Lordpie of a very decisive, pretty much almost double KD.
Yeah, no, definitely a decisive game right there out of Lordpie, and it felt that way pretty much after the 5-minute mark. He just clearly was controlling the pace of the game, and he took really consistently better engagements.
Just that one little hind cheese in the rear really gained him a lot of time and a lot of momentum, which, frankly, a hind should have been shot down, but it was a Danish base defense where probably sleeping, maybe a little bit drunk on the job.
Yeah, they were chilling. They thought that they were at Schleswig-Holstein when really they were up there at the front, and so they just had a pretty bad day. That's probably why Bismarck got the dub in '64.
I think you're probably right about military analysis.
Yes, absolutely. It cannot be defeated. So, Rang, I asked you last week, and I'm just kind of curious. I want to ask it again for the end of the cast. When are we going to get some hot active aggression 2 action?
Oh, well, you see, eventually when Eugene releases active aggression 2, I'm gonna take a flight to Paris, and I'm gonna knock on Eugene headquarters and be like, "Hello, Monsieurs, Mr. Mad Matt. Here's my proposal for active aggression 2." And it's a 50-page document going into all the details about what they need to be doing. But that's all top secret stuff, let me tell you. It'll be like Yuri's Revenge.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing how your visit goes. I mean, maybe you could try and get a job with them, because you could get the whole month of August off, so that'd be pretty nice.
I'll just tell them I'm really into bridges.
Yes. Oh, well, you're instantly hired on the spot there. You can go put some more bridge maps in for the Steel Division 2 community. I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
I'd very much like But once again, Graham, thank you very much for joining.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
And as usual, thank you for watching, you, the dear viewer. And as usual, please just take it easy.